So Andrade, right now, as you say, from what we saw, who do you think is going to be your MVP of the tournament?
Okay, so MVP for the FIBA tournament. Um, if the USA team at least gets to the finals, or wins it in my opinion too. I think it'll be Kemba Walker, and the reason that I would choose Kemba is like I said before, he's a point guard, so he's running the floor, he's doing the assist, he's directing everything, and he's also scoring. He's the leader of the team. I think he's the captain of the roster. I'm not entirely sure. And then I just feel also he'd on a deeper level he'd want to walk into the NBA season facing all the Celtics pressure that he's facing this year because of the whole Kyrie comparison. Like he would want to walk in with a FIBA championship and on top of that a FIBA MVP. And then ironically enough, when I was looking at at FIBA MVP's history names, Kyrie was actually the last player to win the FIBA MVP in 2014. So I just thought that was interesting. And I do think. And on top of that, if you want to guide it, if you want to base it off like who's performing, when I was looking at the stats of the tournament so far, Kemba's been doing like really well. Like I thought he would be more quiet on during this tournament, but not even in the first second rounds. Like he's been performing well. He's usually one of the top performers for the USA team. So on top of that, but I made this decision even before that. But yeah, I think he will win MVP. I think he could obviously, but yeah. What about you?
I think it's just multiple factors. Factor number one would be is I think it's gonna hurt the USA that despite this not being the best potential roster the USA can have because a lot of big names ended up dropping out. This is still a very talented roster, and you still have some names that you could recognize. We just name a couple with Kemba and Donovan Mitchell. I think everybody in the world's gonna know who they are for the.
Well, I don't know about Donovan. But yeah.
But they're recognizable names.
Yeah, especially for NBA fans.
Exactly. So, and because of that, you have plenty of options to choose just on the USA roster, and I think that's kind of gonna hurt them when it comes to choosing an MVP. But in addition, while many are gonna assume the USA is gonna win it, at the end of the day, is the MVP of the tournament. And the number one name that's gonna come up for me when it comes to the MVP of the tournament is gonna be Giannis. Because he's already going to be the best player, and on his team alone, and you can see based on the game plans that other teams have, they're going to focus directly on Giannis.
Yeah.
And the other factor that I was going to say is it depends on how far Greece is going to advance.
How far he carries them.
How far Giannis can carry them. No disrespect, to everybody else in the Greece team. They can ball, but it's like,
or his brother.
His brother. But it's going to go based on how far he can carry them. If he can carry them to, let's say, for example, a semi-final appearance or a finals experience, then yes, I think Giannis is going to have that MVP.
Okay.
If they get knocked out, for example, in the second round, then unfortunately, Giannis
even
is
if
not
he score like 50 points,
the guy can score 100 points per game. If you get knocked out in the second round, you're not going to be an MVP for the tournament. You just didn't do enough to carry that.
Hypothetically, who would be your MVP?
Hypothetically, is it going to be Giannis or it's going to be your choice, which is Kemba?
Like if USA wins, you think it'll be Kemba?
Yes, but if it's Greece versus the USA, it's going to be Giannis.
Like regardless who wins.
Regardless, it's going to be Giannis, in my opinion. He's the best player in the tournament.
Got you.
Thus MVP.
Well, fun fact, I also learned that the last player to win the FIBA MVP without winning the tournament was Dirk Nowitzki in I think it was 2002.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I was telling you earlier, more fun fact. The names that won the FIBA MVP, and I honestly did not expect this, were major. Like Shaq has one, Dirk, Kyrie, and I'm blanking out. I'm sorry, guys, but
Shaq.
Shaq was. I was like, okay, and then damn. I'm sorry, guys. I want to say Kobe. I take that with a grain of salt. I think it might have been Kobe, but I'm not entirely sure.
Maybe Melo.
But yeah, no, it wasn't Melo.